G'day, welcome back to my Oxygen Not Included playthrough here as we continue to chug along. So, thank you for comments on this one. So the one comment that was made that I thought was quite a good suggestion was that if we so that means that the gantry's automation must have broken again, or that we already got that in place. Oh no, it's that guy that's missing. Who's missing gantry. So, one thing that was suggested is if I extend out the gantry... Is that the gantry one? Double check again, because I never remember. That is the gantry. But it's got no power. We have a power cable. Die. That's the one we're waiting for. Okay. So I think we want on extended. So, someone coming to address this. Emergency. I mean, I don't want to move away until we've got this sorted out. Nobody sleeps until we've got this guy sorted out. Or potentially everyone's sleeping. Someone coming with the lead. A lot of people going over here. What's over here that's such a priority thing? Let's grab all that. Or cancel this side. Does lead become that sort of tougher request? I mean, at least I know the emergency will turn off once that gets addressed. So we'll just sit waiting for that for now. Okay. So, also suggestions again for ways to cool the steam room, but I think that if we've already got water showing up in this room, then we're close to the end there. I mean, it's like 45 kilos of steam. So I think it definitely is starting to drop. Getting more thousands of liters. And again, the urgency of that isn't that high. While this guy is sort of filling. So that room's doing a good job. This is still well cool. Once I can open this one, I think I'll drop this guy back down to 23. See how we go. Alright, obviously we know that still hasn't been addressed yet because we haven't stopped being in our emergency. All of that's still operating. One thing so steam room I'm not too worried about. Thank you for the suggestions on that though. Next one was just about that I used transformers bigger than what I probably need down here. I think that the idea with those is that it's possible that more things will come through and be attached to them. So that's the logic I have, but I could be wrong with that. Now, one thing that I like, this is a suggestion as well, is that someone said that the gantry breaks because it's one tile too close to the rocket. So it could be back one further, and that's possibly would solve the issue. But they also pointed that another thing that I could do is just disable auto repair, have it break, and it's still usable as something you can walk on. So if it's broken, it doesn't even matter, which I also like as a suggestion. So with this guy having returned, we then shift over to our research tree. Have a look at how we're doing. Do we still have guys going in the planetarium? It's probably my question, and we do. So hopefully we're actually going to be on the cusp of that we don't need to send another one. Now I'm not going to bet on that and say, all right, well, we'll definitely see that successfully happen this time. So Meep's steam rocket has at least one more flight in it, and we may as well get that started because it always takes a while. So as always, thank you to those who made suggestions. Hopefully we are close, because that's basically, I think, what we've got next to do. The other neat thing that we can see is that we are already starting to shift to guys down here. You can see that we have plenty of open incubators now in both, so there's 8 open incubators. Hopefully the idea is that there's enough space and enough tension to these guys that they will fill up both. So we do need to try and improve the skills. Someone. I think we did it last time we got a second person operating in there. Amazingly, the guys that are already good at stuff are the ones that have heaps of points. The guys that aren't great at stuff don't have that many points left. Spend anyway. This is in alphabetical order. From the other ways it'll present my my guys to me. Ultravaldo, you might be in line for rocket stuff, although you are my critter rancher, so you're probably the one guy that I need priority for. So having a look at critter ranchers, we've got Rowan, who's our doctor. But you know what, buddy? If you have a passion for critter ranching, do some critter ranching too. Just have a look to see if we've got anyone. Mima, if you like it, you can do it. I assume it makes them happy if they get a chance to do their passions. So Ellie's just sort of smashing through walls. Alright, there we go. So as long as we've got a bunch of people in there ready to groom, make these guys happier. Look, Mima's already on the task. I mean, this may make Mima's job of killing these guys a little bit trickier later on, but that's only in my mind. The game won't factor that in at all. Okay. So when it comes to the next rocket, our petroleum rocket, very close. They're still going. I wonder if it tells me how much sort of stuff we've got. Contents. Maybe. I don't know what the conversion rate is there. We want to get our petroleum rocket. And then we're going to need our... So I guess we're going to have to learn about how big can a petroleum rocket be. What sort of stuff can we send? But we are going to have to get a liquid oxygen one at some point as well. Because you can see that that one says it's for mid-range. Then I assume that this is going to be our liquid hydrogen is for long-range space exploration. We're going to have to learn how to do liquid hydrogen. Is that over here? It's not that. That. So what if we search hydro? Gen. Am I looking at the right one? Is that what that was directing me towards? Making this very confusing. Alright, let's scrap trying to figure it out there. And instead we'll go to base. I assume it's going to be refinement, right? I'm also sure that I can, like, I'm sure this has been mentioned to me previously. Problem is I can't search through comments on phone. I'd have to do it. Actually, I might have the availability to do that. Let's have a look. So you can see that's down to 36, 34. So it's the temperature is crashing on those, as well as the density of it is also dropping. So we are in the final stages of the steam there. I mean, there's still some 160, 170 at the top, but down the bottom that's getting cool. And is it going up in density? Or maybe it's gone down, and it's must be that everything's sort of dropping from the top, maybe. But we are pretty close that I can actually build my my pump in there. So we don't want to make it out of steel. Make it out of that thing, gold. Hydrogen. Make liquid oxygen, liquid hydrogen by cooling gas in their condensate to their condensation temperatures. Okay. So that wasn't as detailed an answer as I was expecting. And that was 8 episodes ago, so it was at least relatively fresh that we're looking at that. The idea of cooling them that much. Let's cancel out of that because we do want to go back to just saying, yeah, look at that. All right, we've got petroleum rockets. So it says for hauling many modules. So unclear of how big that means that this guy's allowed to be. What we're going to do is we're going to build him. We'll go on this side of that guy. Because it says that it's bigger, I feel like we need to assume, like, big. This guy is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wide. So if we go... I mean, that hydrogen there doesn't much matter because we're outside of our base. We would just say, take this ladder, extend it down here as far as we can go to about there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Take this ladder. Build him all the way to there. Then take this wall. The next thing we're going to do is hope that actually is the same. That they are the same size. Now, I think I might have undersold this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right, so I think that I pulling this wall in, I pushed this over 1. So let's just quickly go wall up there. Cancel both of those. Copy that, and then go straight up there. It's a very funny way to have come around to just build that part of the wall. And then dig. That bit will open up with that. Those are research modules. So assumably we want to just dump a whole bunch of research modules on there. So I imagine that... I wonder if I can have multiple liquid fuel tanks on a thing so I can increase the size that it can continue to be built up. Let's click on the petroleum engine. Okay, it'll fit, and I didn't even need to go that one extra spot over. So we're going to put him one over this way, just to give him a tiny buffer from that guy. In fact, being one too wide means that that probably won't fit properly. So, let's go all the way back. But... got that tiny bit of wall there too, but that's cool. Hope you've enjoyed the sounds of that being built over and over. And I don't know why I need to pause for that. And then a petroleum engine. There. So we need to cool them their condensation temperatures. So is that something where we have to do I have to, like, can I actually move them, or do we just basically let them, do they just die? Because, oh well. Feels a bit brutal to summon them through, just not into water. This guy's starting to melt. Ice up that way. Snazzy suits. Assign them to people. Should be able to get over to them. Possibly, maybe not. Let's been a bit more melting of the floor in there to make that trickier. Top room still looking significantly more full than that bottom room, but that's what I would expect. I'd imagine that the top room should fill, like it would only... excuse me, it would only be once the incubators at the top are full that they'd send ones down the bottom. But if I ever get to see that we've actually got an excess of meat, that's where I know we're doing well. Alright, so let's get some more mopping going. Down to 23. Guy's overheating, but that's cool. This shows how I jumped the gun and getting him built. So there's now like thousands of liters of water at the bottom there. And we're waiting on like a few hundred now. So I would say that we can have a look at where the electricity goes and just let this guy fire. Like, he just needs to pump out everything steam in that room. And it's still dropping, so we're going to lose, like... I mean, if we go per square, there's the polluted oxygen in there. And the faster you pump, the quicker that this room becomes bearable for you as well. Steam going out into space. I guess that's a combination of two different things that's getting pumped out there as well. It's amazing that even right next to a Wii Sport, these guys are way too hot. Like, he can't even do anything to cool down this section. Where's that heat coming from? I mean, I can see these guys are 50 degrees and then we're 70 up here. So it seems like it's coming from this side. So maybe what I should do is try and block that off. I was going to say those guys too, but maybe we'll have to do that. We can sort of try and reduce it a little bit. I've actually done a pretty successful job of just keeping the hydrogen in there. Well, not that we overly need it either way, but still. So what we can do is try and at least get some of this done. So we can just ask them to cut out every second row, and they can at least wander across and get that done. I'm going to need a entry point to this guy's rocket, but we can set that up maybe up here. Actually got one plant growing up there. Have we pulled that down any? I mean, obviously not that quickly, but... Is this the liquid that's leaving? Let's, it's basically the stuff going almost on its way out and then does that last little journey through the very bottom area. So, let's, give it a... Ooh. What's that? Let's give it a diversion, though, of going up. Up and across. Down. Let's go up like that. Down. Down into there. So we'll just do the amount of bridges we need to do for that. Whether or not they can get to it, since there's unreachable builds all over the roof in there anyway. Pipe blocked. Okay, how have we blocked this pipe? That we're breaking it under the pressure. Like, is that steam going through a cold area and then freezing? Let's disable that guy for now then, because obviously that's working against us. And we'll also say... Wait, I'll also say disable auto repair, because what we'll do is we'll just let him break. Basically, we want to see the... we want to just, like, get the room get cool enough. If he breaks before that happens, so be it. And we'll get him fixed once, and then get it finished. But he's sped the process on again by just reducing the amount of steam in that room. But I mean, based on what this guy's doing here, it does feel like this could be going for a while. Alright, back up to petroleum. Be amazed to see if there's anyone that's using space heaters for anything in this game. So I guess the question is what how do we make stuff that cold? How do we get hydrogen and oxygen and sort of freeze it? Cool. Good to see they are getting that cut free. We have 1600 steel at the moment, so we might have enough to get that done. I'll just check to see if we are making any more or if we've finished producing again. Chuck in another order of 20. Gas pipes freaking out a little bit more again. That's down to 7. So that's great. So close. More mopping. This tank's doing some great work. How are we looking with our oil? Oil, I mean, considering that that was empty at one point, it's definitely picked up a bit. Why have you got no power? You're just overloading your circuit. What are you running to? My goodness, fellas. And you're going to a little one up there. Okay, so let's have a look at the second route that we built. We head up. If we use this guy, cancel that. I'm not go so so expensive as gold. So working in electricity. So we'll go conductive wire so it can carry more. Go to lead. But at least the first part of this run. Then we continue our journey down. Okay, and then we start to get to oil. So what we're going to do is grab this guy and say, continue to get built straight down. Oh, right. What do we need to get to over there? Straight down to there. Then go back up here. Copy that guy, but now we're going to switch to gold. And then what we'll do is we will say this guy can continue on. Then what we'll do is we will say deconstruct just the power wires between that guy, those ones. Now I realize that's jumping the gun because I'm about to just pull the power on these three guys until this gets built, and that's a huge project since we've got to have wires run all the way from the top. But survive a tiny little bit without oil. And did I disable this as well? So that one disable auto repair now that it is out. You guys have done some great work here digging this out. They actually reach the middle. Those unreachable digs. So what we're going to have to do then is build a cross on every second one of these. Just ask them to dig out the rest. How have we done with that one? So I feel like we're now going to get stopped partway through that. I assume that they're not going anymore. Yep, so we've hit our maximum there. Let's roll our way up to find... Haven't explored. Or have we done it? Successfully analyzed everything. Cool. Alright, well that's a big one. Still, there's now only 3 guys down the bottom, so we're not getting any bigger with the amount of bowls that we've got. Yep, I couldn't remember what they are out there. I made just food source. Couldn't tell you their name. Well, good to see that someone's down here, and yeah, you can see that they did go priority 1, just ripping up the existing framework. It's okay. I'm pretty sure that that pipe moves pretty slowly, but you know, look at this, maybe not as slowly as I thought. Yeah, it's chugging away. Thirsty boy. That's only one of the 2 of them going. We're now down into measurable grams. So I would say we can enable that building. Enable auto repair. Probably little enough that he can get it out. And hopefully little enough that it breaks the pipes, but not too badly. I mean, they're only made of granite. Like, we've got an infinite supply of granite. I love the idea of going in there and turning it on, and then like washing your hands of all other responsibility for that thing. This guy really doesn't seem to be churning up that much. There's a pump already in place in that section too. Do you set up the pump to anything? No. Could be. Electricity's all in place. I mean, if we can manually instead get you to just run your water elsewhere, then it seems probably more valuable. Thing is, we could get you possibly under here. That's 1 square higher than over here. All we'd have to do is dig into this area to get the salt water to drop below the level of this. Once that's all cleared, then what we do is we just build a floor across here. And then have that sort of angle down into it. It's doable. Based on how little water is in this room, I'm not sure it's worthwhile though. Like, we'll wait till this is at least a bit of water to it. Finishing up with some new printables. Let's have a look. Definitely will take the copper ore. 2 tons. Yes, please. Someone's trapped. Dana, did you, Alright, let's have a look. Why can't you escape this way? Can. As far as I can see. What's wrong with that exit, buddy? There's two of you there. Hang on, you didn't say anything about Stinky being there. Alright, and let's just put a... I do love the idea of a screen door against the against a rocket ship, but we'll drop a door in there. Since there's an active tunnel there, we'll allow that to stay active. Alright, and that's us for another one. Progress. Petroleum rockets are on their way. Any questions or comments, feel free to chuck them below. And until next time, catch you later. See ya.